Hey guys, this is my reading from day 13 on the John Muir Trail. This day was Mono Creek, North Fork Junction to Bear Creek, July 26th, 2014, approximately a 10-mile day. My journal reads, glad that we pushed an extra 3.2 miles today, diverting a bit from the original itinerary. But a 4-mile climb and a 7-mile descent into Muir Trail Ranch tomorrow sounds much better than a 7-mile climb and a 7-mile descent. It felt great up until the last 1.2 miles today. Then my energy levels sort of tanked for a while. They're beginning to stabilize for the time being. I feel like we're starting to become more of a cohesive team both in camp and on the trail. It's really awesome to see the progress we're making each day. It's starting to get to the point where I'm on autopilot and my mind is off thinking about a plethora of different things. I spent a chunk of time thinking about the future of the Lakers franchise and the landscape of the NBA in general. Pointless thinking, but it took my mind off the trail that was once again flowing under my feet. I thought about my future, where I want to go, what I want to do, where I see myself in the near future. Obviously, we still have 2 full weeks out here, but it's hard to avoid getting ahead of yourself sometimes. We've got a resupply day tomorrow, our first on-trail resupply, which should be a cool experience. We've heard rumor of hot springs at Muir Trail Ranch, which is a nice little tidbit of added motivation for tomorrow. I hope we don't take too long to organize the resupply, because if we can get to Muir Trail by 2:30 to 3, that will leave plenty of time to relax and soak the aching bones. Actually, all told, my body feels pretty good. My feet are managing nicely as well. It's going to continue as a daily evaluation, but I'm definitely feeling stronger this week than I did the first week. I hope I continue to build every day. I know it's also an unconscious process, but I can remain conscious of certain aspects, I suppose. I think I love nature and respect it too much to jump into a $90 million startup with a clean conscience. If I don't ultimately align with the vision and mission, that is. The only reason it's remained an option in my mind is the financial one, which is certainly not enough. I don't want to do anything just for money. I need something that fulfills a greater purpose or need. I need to do something that serves people, that provides for them, that teaches them. I really think the idea of starting an organic farm is the answer, and using it as a social and natural education platform down the road. Being out here helps me realize how important natural education is. This is how we would have to survive without grocery stores, homes, and cars. We would have to live off the land and with the land. This is one of those fine skills that mass amounts of humans have been able to lose over the years. Sure, what we're doing now is a much abbreviated version of what our human ancestors faced on a daily basis. We would have to be hunting, gathering, and tracking all while moving. We would require a much more intimate knowledge of both flora and fauna. We would have to know how to set up traps. We would need much better skills in catching fish in these creeks. We would have to rely on berries and greens when larger game wasn't available. We would have to migrate hundreds of miles every spring and fall. But we would know the land. We would love the land. We would be one with the land. A land that was made for us and for the many plant and animal species we share this planet with. A land that has everything we need to survive on it. But a land, nonetheless, that we take for granted. A land that we feign appreciation and respect for while continuing to fill our everyday lives with things that harm and pollute that land. It's a land that doesn't need our help. A land that simply needs us to get out of its way and out of our own and allow things to return to the more basic necessities of life: food, water, and shelter. That's really all we need besides love. Food, water, shelter, and love, the 4 essentials of life. Editor's note, perhaps interestingly, I might now go so far as to add faith as a 5th element. On that note, I think I'll call it a day on the writing front. I get a lot out of this every day, and I've got to make a point to write for myself every day when I get home as well. It definitely helps to clear the mind and make room for new stimuli. It's funny how I have a tough time getting started every day, but once I get on a roll, I can keep writing for a while. My hand hurts, I'm done for the day. Another editor's note, in the time since returning from this journey, my opinion on the need for this cultural regression that I mentioned above has adapted. While we might sit back and lament the nature in which humanity continues to push forward, seemingly faster and faster, progress, just like the turn of the dials on the clock, is inevitable. At least I have come to believe this is so for the time being. And if my hypothesis is even close to containing the finest shreds of relevance or application, we need not seek regression or a return. However, we may need to reevaluate and realign priorities. But then again, who am I to tell any other free being walking this planet what his or her priority should be? What experience can I pull from that can adamantly back up this vision of realigned priorities? For these questions, formidable answers I have not. I suppose the only thing I can say for sure now is that things feel all too complicated all too often. I desire a simpler existence, and this is nothing new for me. But every time I seem to get close, I'm overloaded by a number of undesirable complexities that force my attention away from the things I care about most. I suspect, from a place of not wanting to be alone in this feeling, that there are many people in this world feeling something similar, feeling overwhelmed by responsibilities that are little cared for and seldom desirable. I wish these people, just as I wish for myself, to be free of these unwanted responsibilities. I hope you guys enjoyed that excerpt from day 13 on the John Muir Trail back in 2014, as well as the photos to go along with it. I know it was a little bit longer one, but thanks for listening, and thanks for continuing to support my mission to explore wilderness, create learning opportunities, and connect with nature. If you guys want to get your hands on the full version of this book, you can find it on Amazon. I put a link down there in the description to that one, as well as a link to where you can buy it in PDF version for cheaper on my website. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you in the day 14 video.